We were discussing about Watson's and Crick model of DNA, which was the B type of a DNA, and we were discussing about the salient features of the Watson and Crick model of DNA. Model of DNA. Now today we are discussing few more features or few more salient features of the BDNA which was given by the Watson and Crick. That is, the double helical structure consists of minor and major grooves. If we take here in the structure, say for if I make again a DNA, and this DNA, it also consists of major and minor grooves. If you take this one, say for this is a minor groove, and this one we have is a major groove. This is a major groove. Now upon these major and minor grooves, what happens? The enzymes, they bind upon the DNA on these regions. So if enzyme have to bind onto the DNA, they bind mostly onto these grooves. That is a minor groove as well as onto the major groove. So this is the enzyme which is showing the binding here. So we can say, if we take a DNA, so DNA consists of minor and major grooves. Major grooves. On these regions, enzymes bind to the DNA. This is one more salient feature of the Watson and Crick's model of DNA. One more important thing which you have to keep in mind, that is, if we will take a double-stranded DNA, the purine like we have adenine makes two hydrogen bonds with thymine. So in a double-stranded structure, on one strand, if we have a presence of here adenine, and on this we have presence of thymine on this strand, and it makes a two hydrogen bonds here. So we can say adenine makes two hydrogen bonds with thymine, and these are known as hydrogen bonds. Similarly, if we take a cytosine also makes hydrogen bonds with guanine. The hydrogen bonds are three hydrogen bonds are made by guanine with the cytosine. So we have the hydrogen bonds, but the hydrogen bonds which we have, they are three in number. So the most important thing which you have to keep in mind, that is, if we have a DNA which is rich in guanine and cytosine, that means rich in G triple bond hydrogen with the guanosine, is having greater melting point. That means the degeneration or denaturation of this DNA takes a high temperature. The reason is we have three hydrogen bonds between guanine and cytosine. So if the question is asked, that is, if we have a DNA which is rich in guanine and cytosine, is more what we call stronger, is having the greater melting point, it has the greater melting point than a DNA which is rich in A and T, because it's having only the two hydrogen bonds present. So this is the most important point, that is about the minor and the major grooves. If we have a DNA, it's consisting of minor groove or the major groove. On these regions, the enzymes bind onto the DNA. And one more thing, if we will take adenine makes two hydrogen bonds with thymine. So we have see here adenine making two hydrogen bonds with the thymine, and similarly we have cytosine or guanosine making three bonds with the cytosine. Similarly, if the question is asked, which of the DNAs have a greater melting point? So the DNA which is rich in GC content is having a greater melting point as compared to the DNA which is which is rich in AT content, the adenine and thymine content. The reason is adenine makes only 2 hydrogen bonds with the thymine. Now one more important thing, we have mainly the different types of the DNA which we have studied, which we study mostly. That is, we have a different types of DNA, especially we have 6 types. If we take the DNA, we have mainly the 6 types of the DNA. So if we take a types of DNA, so if we take a types of DNA, we have different types of DNA from A to E and Z. We have this type of DNA is present in the living world. So we have A, B, C, D and E, and we have Z DNA. So these are the various types of DNA which are present in the living world. But the most important DNA, जो सबसे ज़्यादा important हमारे लिए है, the most important ones, that is B, A and Z. These are the most important types of the DNA which we are studying in the living world. So B, A and Z are the most important DNAs which we study in the living world. Let's take them one by one. Little bit of these DNAs. We discuss here how many nitrogen bases they have and which type of DNA they are. Say for instance, if we take a B DNA is a right-handed DNA. It is a right-handed DNA. Most important thing. And in this DNA, it consists of each turn. If we take each turn of this DNA consists of 10 base pairs. So we can say there are 10 base pairs per turn of what we call this one as a BDNA. So BDNA में अगर हम देखेंगे हमारे पास कितने नाइट्रोजनस बेस होते हैं, तो 10 नाइट्रोजनस bases per turn we have present in case of BDNA. If we take a ADNA is also a right-handed DNA. It is also a right-handed DNA. Now taking this DNA, it's having about 11 base pairs per turn. So we have 11 base pairs per turn in case of ADNA. Then we have a ZDNA. ZDNA we have is a left-handed DNA. It is a left-handed DNA. And in case of this one, left-handed DNA, we have 12 base pairs per turn. So this is the most important information which you have to keep in mind. That is, BDNA is a right-handed DNA and 10 base pairs per turn. We have ADNA is a right-handed DNA also, 11 base pairs per turn. Then we have a ZDNA is a left-handed DNA, 12 base pairs per turn. Now this is all about the structure of DNA which was given by the Watson and Crick and their salient features. Now tomorrow in the next lecture we will discuss about the RNAs.